Babashuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic.
In their head, for real. And many a times when I do these videos against these scholars, I do tag them. I tag them. When I do against these Muhammad Hijabis, these, those who, all of them, I do tag them, most of them. And they see it. I know that, for real. They see it. And the reason why I do that, because, look, I have no mercy for somebody who would disrespect God, openly. I have no mercy for you. Babashuaib, I don't, when this Ahmadis, one of them, called me, I told him why I do what I do. I don't give a damn. So far as you have to disrespect God, yes, I go all out against you. I don't give a damn who you are. Yes. I'm from Nima, Ghana. I'm from Nima. Yes, Nima boy. So I don't give a damn who you are. So far as you are disrespecting God, I go straight out at you. If you have to lie against God, I get straight all out against you. I don't give a damn if you're watching me. If you act foolish, I'll tell you you are a fool. I'm serious. I don't give a damn. If you like, just be who you are. So far as you acted foolish, I'll tell you. That is babashuaib. Yes, correctional officer. Remember, correctional officer shouldn't be scared of you, especially when you are a criminal. He has to deal with you. Okay, yeah, Isa Shabu, I see you. Salam, brother. Thank you for coming. Yes, so, and also anticipate, I'll be having a program with this lovely elder, Omar Zaid. He has requested we should do another program. So I'm working on it. Hopefully next week we'll be doing another program with Omar Zaid, inshallah. So in between, I have to, fit in my schedule. Yes, so the title is Hamza Yusuf, the Hadithiyuun'S white man. When I say the Hadithiyuun'S white man, because among all the scholars who actually reverted to Islam, or who actually converted to this, the mushrik version of Islam, he is more, elevated in status compared to all of them, all the white guys who converted, right? So he is more like an Arabian version of a white man. Or how should I say it? He's the white man version of an Arabian. How should I say it? Help me out. So I chose him for a reason, and this is a long time coming. People have been telling me to do a program on him, but I'm just stalling for the right moment. And this is the right moment because I've tackled all those with the heebie-jeebies enough. The heebie-jeebies ones, I've tackled all of them. So now I have to tackle Hamza Yusuf, and you are going to love. I'm going to show you his hypocrisy. He's a hypocrite. Oh, no doubt. Hamza Yusuf, if you are watching, you are a hypocrite. I will tell you, and I'm going to show you the reason why you are a hypocrite. So no doubt. Hamza Yusuf. By the way, his real name is not Hamza Yusuf, bro. He just took it because, in the Arabized version of Islam, they told you that when you become a Muslim, if you are a white man or you're a Christian or whoever you are, you should take up an Arabian name. This is called mental slavery. This is what they've been doing to all of us, right? Unfortunately, I don't know if it's affected my family because my dad actually told me my name was given from the Quran, Shu'aib, based on Prophet Shu'aib, chapter 11, verse 87. You find the name. So I don't consider my name that I inherited from a slave master. No. But of course, if my dad took it from there, I don't know. But I was told that it was taken from the Quran. So yes, I stick with that. So no wonder I'm speaking about the Quran, to the masses. You get the gist of this? Yeah. Okay. So now let's go. Hamza Yusuf, from my the evidences I've gathered, I've found out that he's a hypocrite. And I'm going to show you the reasons why I'm saying Hamza Yusuf is a hypocrite. So this is my way I invite to Allah by perception. I and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the idolaters, that is the mushriks. I'm not among them, right? So before we go, let me play this video of him, right? Hamza Yusuf. Okay, for those who don't know who Hamza Yusuf is, first of all, pardon me, let me share his picture so that you know who Hamza Yusuf is. This is what I need to do first. This is Hamza Yusuf on the screen. So for those on Facebook and YouTube, you can see the screen, right? This is who Hamza Yusuf is. And I'm going to tell you about Hamza Yusuf in case you don't know him. Hamza Yusuf is initially he's called Mark Hansen. Mark Hansen. That is Hamza Yusuf. So he has the slave master name, which is Hamza Yusuf. So he thinks by this name, he's going to automatically to paradise. Yeah, that's what they think. The irony is that Prophet Muhammad, his name was already Muhammad before he became a Muslim, before he was guided by God. He didn't change his name. Musa was Musa before he was guided by God. You name them. Ibrahim was Ibrahim before he was guided by God. If you want to know how he was guided, check Quran chapter 6, verse 75, when God showed him the marvels of the heavens and the earth. You read how Abraham got guided. He grew up in the house of idol worship. Of course, we don't classify Abraham as an idol worshiper because he was due to, at that time, out of ignorance. So you can't classify that. But when Abraham was enlightened, God never classified him as an idolater. That's why God says, وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. He was not of the idol worshippers. So Abraham, before he got guided by God, his name was Abraham. And when he got guided, he's still Abraham. He didn't change anything. So don't let people fool you to tell you that there's something called Islamic name or Christian name. So your name, this name is bad, so change it and then take your slave master's name. No, don't do that. Now, there's a reason why I chose the title and I say the Hadithiyuun'S white man. Now, even though he is a white man, he still took the slave master name. When I say slave master, I'm talking about mentally enslaved because he's a white man. So it's not like he was being enslaved, physically, but mentally he has been enslaved. To change his name from Mark Hansen to Hamza Yusuf, thinking maybe he'll go to paradise. That's what they have been told, right? So Mark Hansen was born in 1958, right? He's an American Islamic neo-traditionalist. So I classify him, he's a Sunni under the Maliki jurisprudence, right? So they classify him as a scholar of the Sunnis. And he's the co-founder of Zaytuna College. He's a co-founder of the Zaytuna College, right? So these people hold such people in high esteem because they think he has gone to the Arabs and studied some Arabic classical works of Hadith and so on. So, and I'm going to show you the hypocrisy of such people. The reason why I do videos based on Numan Ali Khan, Mufti Menk, you name them. All the scholars have done the video about them, right? All the top scholars that you know of. Yes, Kwekumanaka, I see you, bro. Thank you for the gift. God bless you. We Kwekumanaka, we do have to talk. I've been so busy we couldn't get in touch. We will have to talk. I'll talk to you, God willing. So this is who Hamza Yusuf is, right? You can look him up on the internet. He has some works, interesting things that you want to check out. But I'm going to do this to expose for you this kind of scholars, right? What they do in the mainstream, that is dangerous for you, the audience. That is the reason why I do such programs, right? Okay, so this is Hamza Yusuf on the screen. If you don't know him, now you can see him, right? Let me see. I think I have another picture of him just in case if you don't see it properly. Let me open another picture of his. We have Hamza Yusuf. Let me see. Hamza Yusuf. Let me see. This is Hamza Yusuf. Yeah, I don't know if is it clear enough. So this is Hamza Yusuf on the screen. For those on Facebook and YouTube, you can see it clearly, right? That is Hamza Yusuf. So this is Mark Hansen. The irony is that you have people like Yusuf Estes. There's Yusuf Estes. There's a whole list of them. The latest one is what we call Jake Brancatella. He is the latest. The latest one, the latest, Hadithiyuun white man is Jake Brancatella, the Mushrik metaphysician. He is the latest one. But these ones, they've already been Mushriks for a long time. So that is the issue here. So we go to his video, what he was talking about. And this, I think this video I'm going to play, he's done it for quite a long time. But the reason is I've been looking for the right time to speak about Hamza Yusuf. I'm not sure if I've ever done a video on him before. I'm not sure. But I think this is the right time. And thanks to God, we are alive to witness this moment, right? So let me play this video by Hamza Yusuf, right? Hamza Yusuf. And let's start with this.
So you will find the hadith are collected, and this is there's the Asr al-Wahi, which is the period of revelation, and this lasts 23 years. And this is when the Quran is being revealed and the hadith. Initially, the Prophet said, do not write the hadith with the Quran, because he did not want them to get mixed. So you'll see hadiths where he said that. And now the Hadithiyuun, these people, the Quraniyun who reject the hadith, they'll use these hadiths. And they say, even the Prophet said, don't learn the hadith or don't write them down. The Quraniyun are, it's an absolutely ridiculous argument, but it's a sign of the ignorance of the time. And the Prophet predicted they would come, because nobody rejected hadith in the history of Islam until very recently. They've always differed about the soundness of the hadith and the soundness of the men transmitting the hadith. That's always been a difference. And there are many fabricated hadith, there are many weak hadith, and then the sahih hadith are less than both the weak and the fabricated. So there are many, many fabricated hadith. And that was never denied. But this idea that all the Prophet ﷺ brought was the Quran, the Prophet said, do not let me find you reclining on your couches, holding up the Quran, saying, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if it's not in this book, then don't follow it. He said, and they won't mention my sunnah. And he said, wallahi, I've been given the Quran and its like. So the sunnah is wahi. And the other thing, the religion falls apart without the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. There's no mention of the specific five prayers in the Quran. There's no mention of how to do the Hajj or the Umrah specifically. You won't know how to do the Hajj, the 7 tawaf. You won't know how to do the Sa'i. You won't know what you do at Arafah. You won't know about how to do the Rami. None of those things. Those all come from the hadith. And the mutawatir hadith, which it's kufr to deny them. If you deny ahad hadith, it's not considered kufr, but it's dangerous because it very well might be revelation and you're denying revelation, but it's not considered kufr unless you deny all of them. But if you find a hadith, like some doctors find the hadith about the fly in al-Bukhari and they say, I don't accept that hadith. That's it's better to say, I have a hard time, but if he said it, I believe it. At least put some kind of conditional statement on there so that you protect yourself from falling into that. But there are people now that reject hadith altogether, and that's basically to reject Islam. Because the Prophet ﷺ came with the hadith, and the hadith are true.
So, the problem with these people, when you are listening to them, have you realized that when you are listening to these mushriks, something is piercing your head, like your brain, like it's like a needle. Somebody's trying to poke, like in your brain. When you listen to these mushriks, when they are speaking, I don't know, do they see themselves like they are very good speakers, like eloquently? Is that how they see themselves? Like, I don't know. Like when they talk with all their qualifications, their academics, whatever they have, I'm serious. It's like they are it's like a kid. It's like a child. Like the other day, I was telling you how it feels like if you have a child. Like for those who have 3 years, 4 years kids at home, and the kid is narrating a story to you, like, you know, like, Baba, I took this and I was jumping, and then the car did a fly, and somebody took the football, and then he said, "Hey, don't go," and I said, yeah. So you, the parent, you're like, okay, yeah. Hey, I'm serious, to be honest. When I listen to the mushriks, this is how I listen. This is how they are talking. It's like I don't know if it is trading. If you're trying to do the trading, you know, trading, like this cap, the trading, like you put it here, you bring it out, you go here, like, oh my God, like it's nonsensical. Seriously. I don't know how they became doctors. They had the qualifications, and then yeah, they will never understand. Okay, so I'm just going to go over. So then you see what I'm saying. Like when they are talking, I'm just going to help you out. Just listen carefully. So let's go.
So you will find the hadith are collected, and this is there's the asr al-wahi.
Do you see how many times they stammer? Do you see when they are stammering? Like the stammering gets worse. Like like you know, when somebody is a professional liar, when somebody's a liar, and they want to lie, they look for words. So they start stammering, even though realistically they are not stammerers. But when the moment somebody is going to lie and he starts stammering, like it's just THE there. But why do you have to use the stuttering to use just there? You are saying there about 4 times. Why? So when this stuttering started, you understand? The lie is going to happen. So pay attention. So it's not only the nasheed that they use to lie to you. I'm just showing you the tactics these people use. I'm serious. When they have to convince Christians, look, find all the top scholars. If they have to give a speech and convince Christians, these guys are very superb. They will give you the most perfect, or you know, their speech will amaze you. I'm serious. When they have to convince Christians, oh my God, they are the best. They know how to talk. But you let them come when they have to speak about the hadith. Oh my God. The heebie-jeebies starts. They put there. So you watch. If you think I'm lying, listen.
Which is the period of revelation in this last 23 years. And this is when the Quran is being revealed and the hadith. Initially, the Prophet said, do not write.
He says the Quran is being revealed and the hadith. He says this is during the 23 years. This is when the Quran is being revealed and the hadith. You see, the mushriks, they separate the Quran by not classifying the Quran as the hadith. The Quran itself is hadith, and it is the hadith. Ahsan al-hadith. Look, let me show you an example. Because the problem of indoctrination, because these people have been indoctrinated to the extent that they have to keep lying to the people. That is why when you tell a sectarian that the Quran is the hadith, they confuse, they laugh at you. They don't understand. Do you understand? They keep laughing at you. They're like, oh, he says the Quran is the hadith. Then they laugh. So let me show you something. Let me put it on the screen so you understand what I mean. Here, this is the screen. In Quran chapter 68, verse 44, God says, "Fazarni woman yukazzibu bihazal al-hadith." Bihaza. When we say haza, THIS, this, something which is in front of you. This. So if God is talking from the Quran and you are holding the Quran and he says bihaz al hadith, it is this hadith. And he used the definite article to qualify the word, which is al hadith. So this hadith. Now, so leave me with whoever denies this hadith, which is this discourse, because it's a narration. The book itself is a narration. Then God says, we will gradually advance them. We will gradually advance them from where they do not know. And God says, and I will detect for them. Indeed, my scheme is solid, formidable. Right? Okay. Now, in several instances in the Quran, God used the word al-hadith to qualify the Quran. So I give you another example. In Quran chapter 39, verse 23, God says this. He says, Allahu nazzala al-ahsan al-hadith. Then he says, kitaban mutashabihan, mathaniya taksha'irru minhu juludun lazina yakhshawna rabbahu. ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء. Then he says ومن يضلل الله فما له من هاد. God has revealed the best hadith, al-hadith. He used the ma'rifah, the definite article. Here it is on the screen. Al-hadith. So now, if you ask the mushriks, which of the two books you are talking about, which one is your first source of guidance? They will say the Quran. So now let's stick to the Quran first, because the first source have to mention something in order for your second source to take it up. So the first source, which one does it call al-hadith? Then they will say, oh, but you know the hadith, when we say hadith, we are talking about the actions, the sayings, the silence and of the prophet. Then how come you have narrations from other people, which has nothing to do with the prophet? Oh, I heard one time I was going to the market, I heard the prophet telling some people that they should kill dogs. You heard? These mushriks said their religion, eh? Okay. Let's go back. So when we say al-hadith, we are talking about the Quran is the hadith itself. But what the mushriks will do is to make you think when they say hadith, they want you to go with their flow. We are going with the original hadith, not your fake books. The hadith you have is fake. This is one of the reasons why God spoke in Quran chapter 45, verse 6. This is what God says. Let me put on the screen again. Here, just bear with me. This is on the screen here. God says, "Tilka ayatullahi natuluha alayka bilhaq." Then he says, "Fa bi ayyi hadisi ba'dallahi wa ayati yu'minun." These are the verses of God, because God in his infinite wisdom is trying to give you a hint that the verses are the hadith, or is the hadith. Is the narration, because the verses contain the words of God, which is the narration. Because the angel narrated to Muhammad, and Muhammad has to write it down to present it as a letter to the people. It's a message to mankind. That is why Quran chapter 7 verse 158, the messenger says, "Kul ya ayyuhan nas inni rasulullahi ilaykum jami'an." He has delivered the letter. That's why the Quran is a universal book. Everybody has it. Yes. Then the foolish people will be asking you, how did the Quran get to you? Where did you get the Quran? I got it from the library. Then they say, who put it at the library? Damasis. Bozos like you. What kind of question is that? Oh my God. So these are the verses of God which we recite to you in truth, or with the truth. So in which hadith, after God and his ayat, the verses, because that is what compromised the hadith. Because hadith is about narrations about God. You don't need any foolish stories telling you about an entity who is not God. What kind of foolishness is this? No, that those stories, is it about the entity or is it about God? Because Islam is about God. Inna dina inda Allahi Islam. Why do you want to foolishly take up stories which has nothing to do with you? So are you telling me if I'm an African, or I'm an Asian, or I am a Caucasian, or I'm a Latino, or whatever I am, I have to live my life, I have to live my culture, my lifestyle, and live like somebody else? Take somebody's culture? That is not, look, people have been induced with this kind of thinking that, okay, you need to adapt the Arabian culture, the Arabian name, the Arabian way of thinking, even pronunciation, to speak like an Arabian. That makes you Muslim. Are you a fool? Ibrahim, was he an Arab? The honorable man, God made him a leader for mankind. Quran chapter 2, verse 124. God says, I'm going to make you a leader for mankind. Was he an Arab? So now if I'm following the Millata Ibrahim, must I speak like Abraham? Must I dress like Abraham? Must I eat like Abraham? No. It is only the aspect of what connects you to God. That is what you are going to take as a footstep. That is it. But what is the modern day Hadithiyuun'S trying to make you? You have to talk like an Arab. You have to dress like an Arab. You have to give your kids Arabian names. You have to, say things. Even the supplication you have to do to God, it has to be in Arabic language. Why? No, seriously, Abraham, in which language did he pray? No, in which language did he communicate to God? What about Moses? Was it Arabian? So they've made Islam to become as if it is a 7th century religion. Yes, that's how they made Islam to become. You understand? Whilst Islam has been there even before the existence of Muhammad. Even before the existence of Muhammad. So how come nobody was saying we have to talk like the children of Israel? Because the children of Israel were Muslims. Yes, they were Muslims. It is later on people start changing. Quran chapter 2, verse 59. They started changing to other than what God commanded them. And then here, voila, you have the Jews, you have Christians, you have Zoroastrians, you mentioned them. All of them started coming. The Mormons, and then the Moors, everybody started forming their own religions. Do you get my point? So what kind of foolishness are these people trying to indoctrinate people with? Babashuaib sitting here is not as if I'm against Arabians. I don't hate Arabians. But I'm trying to tell you, if you are thinking that everything you have to do in Islam has to do with the Arabian culture, Arabian tradition, Arabian way of life before you become a Muslim, wallahi, then you are a fool. Okay, let's go. Quran chapter 52, verse 34. God is throwing a challenge. He says, فَلْيَاتُوا بِحَدِيثٍ مِثْلِهِ إِن كَانُوا صَادِقِينَ. Then let them bring a hadith like it. Mithlihi. This masculine pronoun used at the end of mithlihi. This mithlihi, the damir, is a masculine pronoun. It represents the book. It represents the Quran. So let them bring. Yes, Sister Alma Johnson, I see you, salam. Let them bring a hadith like it. Out of their foolishness again, then they will say hadith and the Quran are on parallel. But it is just that when it comes to recitation and blessings, the Quran is ahead. But when it comes to the Sharia and the Hukum, they are hey, Hadithiyuun mushriks. If they should be truthful, if you are truthful, bring your book. Let's put it next to the Quran and examine. And then we see, oh, I heard the Prophet saying that. Is that how you see it written in the Quran? Surah Al-Fatiha, does he say, I heard Ibn Abbas saying that he saw the prophet saying that Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Is that how Quran is narrated? Then out of their foolishness, they say the same people who transmitted the Quran are the same people who translated. Stupid bozos. Let's go forward. You see, correctional officer will get you. Let's continue with the bozo.
The hadith with the Quran, because he did not want them to get mixed. So you'll see hadiths where he said that. And now the hadith.
Okay, so the hadith where he said that, we are going to catch your lies. This man, Hamza Yusuf, you are going to catch your lies. When we go to sunnah.com, I'm going to take you to sunnah.com. I'm going to show you something. How these people lie. They are professional liars. No? So if you don't know, let me tell you today. These people are professional liars. We are going to check the hadith he is talking about. The hadith is Sahih Muslim 3004. In that hadith, here, I'm going to show you. It says, the Prophet says, La taktubu anni waman kataba anni ghayra al-Qur'an falyamhuhu wa hadithu anni. Right? Okay. He says, do not write anything from me. La taktubu anni waman kataba anni. If you write anything or any other thing, if you write from him other than the Quran, ghayra al-Quran, falyamhuhu, that is, wipe it out, efface it. Wa hadithu anni, and narrate from me. Now, look, let me show you something. La taktubu, this kataba, it means write. Hadith means to narrate. Just as God told the Prophet in Quran chapter 93 verse 11, where God says, فَأَمَّا بِنِيمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. As for the favor of your Lord, narrate it. When we say narrate something, it doesn't mean write it down. You see the foolishness of this Hadithiyuun'S. They don't know the difference between kataba and hadith. When we say hadith, it means narrate something. When we say kataba, it means write it down. The Prophet, according to your hadith, which we don't believe, Quran is sufficient for us. Hasbuna kitabullah. Just like Umar said in Quran hadith, chapter Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Hasbuna kitabullah. Okay. The Prophet said, La taktubu anni. Do not write anything from me. Waman kataba anni. Whoever writes anything from me, Ghayr al-Quran, other than the Quran, which means whatever you write which is not the Quran, wipe it out. He says efface it, because he doesn't want you to write anything. But because these people don't obey the Prophet, they don't obey the messenger, they don't obey the Prophet, they don't obey the messenger, they are very stubborn. They still are writing the books. Then he said, write only the Quran. If you write anything other than the Quran, wipe it out. These scholars will find their way around and say, since he says narrate it, it means they should still write it. You see the foolishness. They don't even understand their own Arabic book, which they wrote in their own comedy books. They don't understand it. How can the word do not write be the same with narrate? Hey! So this is the hadith Hamza Yusuf was trying to lie about. But let's go back. Look.
People, the Quraniyun, who reject the hadith, they'll...
So out of his foolishness, then he calls us Hadithiyuun'S. Listen to the part.
Quraniyun, who reject the hadith where he said that. And now the Hadithiyuun, these people...
You see, he calls us Hadithiyuun. Then he says, these people. Then he's going to fix his statement. Now look.
People, the Quraniyun, who reject...
Then now he says the Quraniyun. Because they know they are the Hadithiyuun'S. Hey, mushriks. That is why babashuaib, I'm calling them Hadithiyuun'S. They know themselves. These people, they love their hadith. Basa, basa, basa. Very soon, these people will start marrying 6-year-old girls again. When American celebrities are doing it, you are angry. But your book is propagating it. Okay.
The hadith, they'll use these hadiths, and they see...
We are not using the hadith. The point is, we are showing you your own contradiction from your own books, because the best way to defeat an enemy is to use his own book to defeat him. That is why we use your own book to show you what according to you the prophet said to you. But because you guys are arrogant, you don't obey the prophet. So you still go against his commands. I'm serious. Then out of their foolishness, they will quote another hadith. They say, oh, look here, the prophet gave somebody permission to write. Somebody. He gave somebody permission. But in this hadith, Sahih Muslim 3004, he generalized it, talking to everybody. It wasn't like to a limited group of people where he said only you. To everybody, do not write, he said. Then now you go and quote to me an hadith of somebody else that the prophet was talking to personally, that he said he should write something. Then you are saying that is where you got the permission. Is that how your brains work? Hey, Hadithiyuun'S. Let's go.
Even the prophet said, don't learn the hadith or don't write them down.
You see, are you listening? He says, even the prophet says, don't learn the hadith and don't write them down. But what happened?
The Quraniyun are, it's absolutely ridiculous.
After saying that even the prophet said that, don't learn the hadith, don't write it down. Now he like, how will I say, the straw man argument, he jumped from the main point where people can draw a conclusion to see the flaws of it in his statement. Then he diverted the topic, the Quraniyun. Listen.
Argument. But it's a sign of the ignorance of the time.
It's the sign of the ignorance of the time. According to who?
And the prophet predicted they would come because
the prophet predicted where? that people who come, they are called Quraniyun. Hey, these people. Hey, you just call us Quraniyun. Where did the prophet predict that there's a people who come in the future? They are Quraniyun. Huh? They have somebody called correctional officer, right? He's sitting on the couch with a cushion. I don't even have the cushion here. Then there he says the person who say, follow only the Quran. Hey, this bullshit, they know how to lie, Papa. To listen. Hey, then they will say, the prophet spoke about people like this, that they will come. Did the prophet mention Quraniyun in your hadith? Hey, Hamza Yusuf. You guys can lie. With all your PhDs and whatever DDs you have, I guess they gave you because of your lies. All of you. Let's go.
Nobody rejected hadith.
Because Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Jamia, Tirmizi, Sunan Ibn Nisa, Ibn Majah, they never existed at that time. So what do you mean nobody rejected hadith? When the prophet already told them not to write. If they didn't write, who is there to reject something again? How does your brain work? The prophet already told at this time, nobody should write. They didn't write, they obey him, right? So why do you expect somebody again to be there to reject something? I don't get these people. How do their logic work?
The history of Islam until very recently.
The history of Islam until very recently. Nobody rejected hadith in the history of, because they never existed. Imam Bukhari never met Prophet Muhammad. Yes, because that's a popular book you have, Sahih al-Bukhari. If there was a book before Bukhari, why doesn't that book still exist? Just like the Quran was there 1,400 years ago. We still have the Quran, right? Okay. If there was a hadith before the Sahih Bukhari, why don't you have that same hadith today? Let's use it. Why must it be Imam Bukhari hadith or Sahih Muslim? Why? So they have to do selection because Imam Bukhari himself rejected over more than 10,000 hadiths. He have rejected a lot. He only selected about 6,000 of them and gave it to you. Then you have your Imam Albanis and so also coming to check. Hey!
They've always differed about the soundness of the hadith and the soundness of the men transmitting the hadith. That's always been a difference. And there are many fabricated hadith. There are many weak hadith. And then the Sahih Hadith are less than both the weak and the fabricated. So there are many, many fabricated Hadith.
What is he saying? So if, look, he used the word, there are many, many, many fabricated Hadiths. There are many, many fabricated. Why waste your time? No, seriously, what is wrong with the human being? What is wrong with your psychology? According to your own Hadith book, Sahih al-Bukhari 5669, when the Prophet was dying, he told the people to bring a paper so that he can write something for them. What did Umar say? Umar said, Hasbuna kitabullah. Wa indakum al-Quran, Hasbuna kitabullah. The book of God is sufficient. Because the book of God is Zalika al-kitabu la rayba fihi hudan lil muttaqin. It's a guidance for mankind and for those who are pious. Now you leave the book of God. You said you want to go into a book that has a lot of trash, garbages, things which will conflict with Islam. You want to go into that book for guidance. Ladies and gentlemen, after this, I'm going to play another video of him, and I'll play the third video. You'll be shocked what you hear this man speaking about concerning the Quran. You will be shocked and amazed. Anticipate.
And that was never denied. But this idea that all the Prophet ﷺ brought was the Quran, the Prophet said, do not let me find you.
The Prophet said, do not let me find. How can he find me? He's dead. Hey, what is wrong with you? He is dead. Do not let me find you. Where? After he saying in Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, 3004, La taktubu anni. وَمَنْ كَتَبَ أَنِّي غَيْرَ الْقُرْآنِ فَلْيَمْهُهُ وَحَدِّثُ عَنِّي. He says, do not write anything from me except the Quran. Now you again, your hypocrisy, you are saying, he's saying, do not let me find you. Find who, babashuaib? He is dead. How many years ago? 1,400 years ago. How can he find me? Do not let me find you. And if you ask them, where did he speak this? In the Hadith. In the Hadith book again. Not from the Quran. No. He never said, where will Prophet say, do they let me? Is he God? Kaji Wawanchi.
Reclining on your couches.
Again, this is not the couch. This is just my chair. My couch is it's a recline. These people, they are bozos, wallahi. Always quoted Hadith to justify Hadith. They quote Hadith. If you tell them, okay, let's go to the Quran, justify the Hadith from the Quran, they say, Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. Then they stop there. Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. Then he says, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever the Prophet gives you, take it. So the Prophet gave me Sahih Bukhari. Is that how your logic works? So the Prophet, he gave us Sahih Bukhari, or he gave us Sahih Muslim? Is seriously, these they are academics. I don't know how they end up getting degrees. Is that how your logic works? Whatever the Prophet gives me, I should take it, right? Did he give me Sahih Bukhari? Show me where the Prophet says Sahih Bukhari comes to you, take it. Or Sahih Muslim comes to you, take it. I don't know how their logic works. But let's go.
Holding up the Quran saying, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if it's not in this book, then
he's misquoting that hadith. You find it in Jami al-Tirmizi, 2663 and 2664. That is not how the hadith said this. But these scholars keep lying to their audience, and then they will be misquoting this hadith, and then the audience think these people are speaking sense. Look, let me show you the hadith on the screen. You'll be amazed how these people lie. And you will see that these people are the big time liars. That what they are saying has nothing to do with what the hadith says. So Tirmizi, that is 2603. I put it on the screen. Here. Then I put this here. I don't know if you can see it clear enough, but let me do this. Let me see. Okay. This is the hadith on the screen, right? It says, narrated Ubaidullah bin Abu Rafi. It says, from the Prophet, who said, let me not find one of you reclining on his couch when a command I ordered or a prohibition from me comes to him. And he says, I do not know. What we find in the book of Allah, we follow it. And they are quoting from the hadith to justify this. Let me not find you. Is he talking about me? No, he's talking about his people. But what is the context of this? And where does the Quran support this stupidity they are talking about from the hadith books? But they will use this to justify this. Unfortunately, for those on TikTok, you cannot see. It is only those on Facebook and YouTube can see the page, right? So they will use this hadith. And listen to these scholars normally. When they are talking, they will not give you reference of the hadith because they know you verify. So they withhold the reference. And then they will just spew things and mix things up. This is the hadith Hamza Yusuf was quoting. But did you see what he said? Is it in line with this? No. Let me repeat that part.
He said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought was the Quran, and that was never denied. But this idea that all the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought was the Quran, the Prophet said, do not let me find you reclining on your couches, holding up the Quran, saying, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if it's not in this book, then don't follow it. He said,
is that what the hadith says? Holding up the Quran, the whatever you find in this book. Hey, so now you are trying to tell us the Prophet is against the book of God? Hey. So how come Umar was saying the book of God is enough? Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Umar said the book of God is enough when the Prophet was about to die, according to your own hadith. Then again, you quote Jamia Tirmizi 2663 and 2664 to tell us again that the Prophet is saying, let me not find you holding the book of God alone. Out of your foolishness, are you not the same people who said when he was dying, he only left the book of God? Hey, why? Why now?
Mention my sunnah. And he said, Wallahi, I've been given the Quran and its like. So
hey, you see, look, you see how we say Wallahi, and he says, I've been given the Quran. Hey. Where is Akabebeza? They don't fear God, oh, these people. Wallahi, they don't fear God. They lie broad daylight. They are not afraid of God at all. I'm serious. Hey! Yeah, he makes his own rule, he's a Muslim. That's the point. They are making Muhammad a God, challenging God, making his own religion. And hey, let's go.
The Sunnah is wahi.
Did you hear that? The Sunnah is wahi. And they don't give you proof. No proof from the book of God. No. Why? Because Imam Bukhari said it. It's in the book of Bukhari. Yes, Sahih, Akhi, Sahih, Haza, Sahih. Mafish mushkila. La. Okay.
And the other thing, the religion falls apart without the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. There's no mention of the specific five prayers in the Quran.
So if it's not mentioned there, why are you doing it? If your boss gives you a contract and the contract doesn't say you should do 5 hours, why do you need to do 5 hours? Hello? The main contract, you signed it, your boss gave it to you. It doesn't say you should do 5 hours. Why should I do 5 hours? Hello? How? You see where logic is thrown out of the window when it comes to hadith doctrines? They will say because you find it in the Hadith. Hadith says it. So you see how they overwrite the Quran with the garbage books. And I keep telling you, babashuaib will keep calling the book garbage. I'm serious. For those who don't understand me, you keep saying, oh, stop calling their book garbage. Stop calling their book garbage. Oh, so you respect the book. Hypocrites. Wallah, you are hypocrites. Those people telling me, stop calling those book garbage. You are hypocrites. I'm serious. Yes, you are hypocrite. To be honest, if you tell me, stop calling those book garbages, you are hypocrites. A book which is insulting your prophet, you tell me to stop calling that book garbage. Are you in your right senses? Or are you a hypocrite? Hey, munafiqun. These people use those garbage books to override the Quran. If the Quran never said pray 5 times, why should I stress myself? Okay, listen.
There's no mention of how to do the Hajj or the Umrah specifically. You won't know how to do.
You are lying. Is there? Hajj and Umrah are in the Quran. And it's actually very simple. But because you guys are bozos, you don't study the book of God. You elevate the garbage books over the book of God. So you think you are wise. Yes. With all your degrees and whatever PhDs in foolishness that you have, you think you are wise. Okay, let's go.
The Hajj, the 7th tawaf, you won't know.
The 7th tawaf. Did God say 7th tawaf in the Quran? Of course, he mentioned tawaf. Quran chapter 22, verse 29, 27 to 29 is there. You just walk around and see, just like when you go to a museum, the way you walk around to see nice places and fine, it's there. But why should I do 7 times? What? 7 times for what? If it's not written in the Quran 7 times, then who asked you to do? Is it your God, Buhari? Yeah. Your God, Buhari, told you. Yes.
How to do the sa'i. You won't know what you do at Arafah. You won't know about how to do the rami.
He says, Rabbi, this Rajam, how they go to stone, he say Rami and oh my God. I wouldn't know how to do all that. Okay, no problem.
None of those things. Those all come from the Hadith. And
you see, that is why we call them Hadithiyuun'S. This is how they give credence to their garbage books. So if none of those things are from the Quran, why should I do things which are not part of the contract? Hello, I will show you how hypocritical this person is, Hamza Yusuf. Wallah, you'll be amazed, you'll be shocked when I play the last video about him. You see, let's go.
The mutawatir hadith, which it's kufr to deny them. If you deny ahad hadith, it's not considered kufr. But
thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So he says, if you deny ahad hadith, the hadith which comes in one, like they cannot trace the mutawatir, the isnad, that the chain of narration and repeated hadith. If you deny that, it's not kufr. But he says, if you deny the mutawatir, the ones which come consecutively and then in the chain of narration, if you deny that, you are a kafir. So listen.
But it's dangerous because it very well might be revelation and you're denying revelation.
It very well might be. Tell me one verse you take from the Quran, you say it might be revelation. No, you don't take a verse from the Quran, you say it might be a revelation. So I think twice, you have to believe. But in your hadith book, you take hadith, then you say, hey, don't reject it. It might be a revelation. You might go to hell if you reject our garbage book. Hadith use your comedians who
but it's not considered kufr unless you deny all of them.
If I deny all the mutawatir hadiths, it's kufr. But you guys, you reject more hadiths than anybody. Even how do you call this guy? This bozo. He said it last time now. Muhammad Hijab, right? Do you remember? Muhammad Hijab said it last time. If I remember, I think I have the video. Let me find the video. Muhammad Hijab said this last time. In one of my videos, they are the biggest hadith rejectors. Do I have the video? Is it? Yes, I have the video. Let me play this part. Sorry, I think I have the video here. It's on, I put it on TikTok, TCO, and Muhammad Hijab. Okay. Is it this one?
Imagine you got a million hadith. How many Sahih hadith do you reckon we have? And now we said about 10,000, by the way. Like if you, most of the 95% of the hadith that are in the 6 books of hadith constitute what is authentic. What is authentic? So we've been so critical with the hadith that we've rejected 95% of them. We're the biggest hadith rejectors on the planet.
Oh, you are. Oh, you are. The Oxford Bozo, you heard him. He said it. The Sahih hadith they've rejected 95% of the Sahih Bukhari hadith. So they are only using 5% out of the 95 Sahih Bukhari research they've done. Then he says, we are the biggest hadith rejectors on the planet. And he says, yes, we are. It's not a joke. But these same comedian scholars who sit on the podium telling people that if you reject any mutawatir hadith, you the one who said we should reject the garbage books. The moment you say, I don't believe, I reject this hadith, they call you hadith rejector. Then they say, you are a kafir. Because you reject some trash, they are telling you. Straightforward, they say you are going to hell. Hey! But you, the guys, you yourself, the hadith you use, that you have rejected over 95% of your Sahih al-Bukhari hadith. We didn't say you are going to hell. Hey! No, is it by force to follow your garbage? I don't understand. Somebody wants to buy their clothes from the boutique. Somebody wants it from the second-hand shop. Allow the one who wants a second-hand shop to go. You want boutique. Boutique, we stick to boutique. We want boutique. So boutique is okay. But you say, we the boutique, we have to be arrested. Hey! Hey, Allah. Let's go. Let's continue.
But if you find a hadith, like some doctors find the hadith about the fly in al-Bukhari and they say, I don't accept that hadith. That's it's better to say, I have a hard time, but if he said it, I believe it. At least put some kind of conditional statement on there so that you protect yourself from falling into that. But there are people now that reject hadith altogether, and that's basically to reject Islam.
Hey! Is it what Islam is made of? So Islam is made of trash, mix of trash in Islam. So I have to take all the trash. Hey, Hamza Yusuf, wallah, you are a bozo. Hey! So this trash of books, you guys are even rejected 95%. If I say, okay, I don't need the trash, all the 100% go away. You said I'm rejecting Islam. So Islam is full of trash. Hey! Do you see how they insult the Quran? So Quran can never give you Islam. Do you see how their brain works? And this is why, babashuaib, I'll mess your scholars up. Wallahi. They are watching me. They know me. You think they don't know me? You go to the Farids and whatever. You mention them. They know me. The Jakes. You mention all your people. Your celebrity scholars. They know me very well. Wallahi, wallahi. They know me very well. I'll mess you up. Big time. Aha. Okay. Just like I dealt with Imam Mahdi and his boys called me. Yes, I said I'm open. Yes, have a discussion. Yes, let's have a discussion. I will deal with all of you till you start calling me one by force. We will have this discussion. Everybody will see. So if I reject all these garbage books, I'm not a Muslim. Hey, Allah mushrikaga. Hey, Makolo, you are welcome. Let's go.
Because the Prophet ﷺ came with the hadith, and the hadith are true.
He says, because the Prophet Muhammad came with the hadith, and the hadith are true. And people don't have the guts to ask them questions. You are scared. You don't ask them critical questions. Look, you don't need to be very knowledgeable to ask a scholar a question. You just need the iota of wisdom and intelligence. That's all. That's all you need. Yes, I'm serious. Wisdom is greater than knowledge. And when I say knowledge, I'm talking about, you can see a smart person who is knowledgeable in terms of IT, computer, technology, but he's worshiping a cow. Yeah. Tell me, where's the wisdom? You are very knowledgeable in maybe, you know, the coding, data, whatever, but you're worshiping a cow. Where's the wisdom? No wisdom. So wisdom is greater than knowledge. But that is why God gives the prophets both knowledge and wisdom, because you need both to work together. These scholars of the Hadith you are checking, they are knowledgeable. They have knowledge. Yes, I'm not saying they are knowledgeable. They have knowledge. They have read a lot of garbage books. Yes. Just like Muhammad Hijab, the Oxford Bozo, he said there's a white lie and a black lie. So you can take black lie. He says it's halal in Islam also. So this is how these people are comedians. Wallahi, wallahi. Let's go to his next video. Hamza Yusuf, your next video, before I play the main video, where people will be surprised what you're saying. His next video, this is what he was talking about. Hamza Yusuf, that is, let me see, today, and then we go to 19A. Yeah, so that's the next video here.
Sharia doesn't change. These are thawabit in Sharia. So you cannot, people can't come now, 1400 years later, and tell us, oh, for 1400 years, the Muslims got it all wrong. Now, you know, in this great enlightened age of Islamic illumination, we've realized what the Quran really meant. You know, that argument is patently absurd because, one, the Sahaba understood the Arabic and the Prophet ﷺ was there to show them, and we have the Hadith, and people say, oh, they want to condemn the Hadith and say, well, it's I don't believe in the Hadith. There are mutawatir Hadith that you cannot condemn. If you condemn them, it's the same, because we have, you know, we have an epistemology.
Seriously, what kind of English is he speaking? Seriously. Listen to that part. Listen. It's bugging my head. Listen to the English he's speaking here. Look. He's an American, by the way. Huh? Mark Hansen. Look. And
the Prophet ﷺ was there to show them. And we have the Hadith. And people say, oh, they want to condemn the Hadith and say, well, it's I don't believe in the Hadith. There are mutawatir Hadith that you cannot condemn. If you condemn them, it's the same, because we have, you know, we have an epistemology.
What is this? This is like Salim. Oh, sorry. Salim is smarter than this. My son is smarter than this. Guys, did you listen to the part what he's speaking about? Like, what is the sense in this 2 minutes speech? I'm just what is he saying? Like, so these guys are academically elevated and they have PhDs and they have degrees and whatever. Like, how? Tell me seriously. What is he saying? Listen to the part.
Realize what the Quran really meant. You know, that argument is patently absurd because, one, the Sahaba understood the Arabic and the Prophet ﷺ was there to show them, and we have the Hadith, and people say, oh, they want to condemn the Hadith and say, well, it's I don't believe in the Hadith. There are mutawatir Hadith that you cannot condemn. If you condemn them, it's the same, because we have, you know, we have an epistemology. Just like the West has an epistemological approach to things, Muslims have an epistemological approach to things. So we have mutawatir, that's part of our epistemology. We have ahad, that's part of our epistemology. We have akhbar, we have dhanniyat, we have hadsiyat, we have wahmiyat. These are all part of the epistemological approach of Muslims. A mutawatir khabar is 100% epistemologically sound. It's factual. So if the Prophet ﷺ said something and it's mutawatir, and you deny it, it's denying the Quran. It's the same, because the Quran is mutawatir. And so there's these people that say, oh, I only accept the Quran, the Quraniyun. They've already rejected the Quran. وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Right? Whatever the Prophet ﷺ tells you to do, وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. And what he tells you not to do, avoid it. Where does he do that? The Prophet ﷺ wasn't telling us in the Quran. He was saying the Quran was from Allah. He's just delivering it. That refers to his sunnah. And he said, don't, لَا أُلْفِيَنْ أَحَدُكُمْ مُتَّكِيًا عَلَىٰ أَرِيكَتِهِ. Let me not find one of you reclining on a comfortable couch and saying, مَاذَا وَجَدْتُمْ فِي هَذَا الْكِتَابِ فَاتَّبِعُوهُ. You know, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if you don't find it in this book, just leave it. And he said, they won't mention my sunnah. And he said, Wallahi utitu al-Qur'ana wa mithluhu. I was given the Quran and its like, which is the sunnah. So to deny the sunnah is to deny half of Islam. Because it's la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. You know, it's God and it's the messenger of God. The Quran is the word of God. It's not the word of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the Hadith is the word of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Allah. But it's the Prophet ﷺ telling us, and we have to follow the Prophet ﷺ. So to deny the Hadith is kufr. If you deny the whole body of Hadith, you're kafir. You're not Muslim. You're outside of Islam. In al-Bukhari is not kufr. You know, if somebody says, you know, I can't believe in that Hadith, that's not kufr. It's not something I would risk. You should at least say, I don't think he said it, but if he said it, I believe it. It's a more intelligent approach, agnostic, about the Hadith, not about Allah, right? So, and an ideal Islamic state is an ideal Islamic state of mind. And that's where you won't need to impose the niqab if you have an ideal, the hijab, if you have an ideal state of mind in the Muslim woman. You won't need to impose it.
Like, seriously, like these people, like when they are talking, when people sit down and listen to them, what are they listening to? Like, I don't get it. I'm serious. Like, if we sit down and we listen to them, like what is it that, like, what are they saying, or what are they talking about? Wallahi, they are not making sense. There's no sense in the things they talk. They spew out there. I don't know how they are trying. Yes, the co-founder of Zaytuna College. Yes, that's him. Co-founder of Zaytuna College. I'm serious. Now let's go through this video.
The Sharia doesn't change.
He says the Sharia doesn't change. When they say Sharia, it means the law. This is the law they take from their Hadith books, right? Not from the Quran. This is mental gymnastic. Exactly. BM80, you said it. They do mental gymnastic with their audience. And this is why a lot of the mushriks are bozus. I keep saying it. So their scholars, they like doing mental gymnastic. They play with words and they twist your mind. So it's just like they put you in a hypnotic state. So this hypnosis, they hypnotize you. I'm serious. Yes, he made zero sense. Yes. Like, let's go through. Listen.
These are thawabit in Sharia. So you cannot, people can't come now, 1400 years later, and tell us, oh, for 1400 years, the Muslims got it all wrong.
So people cannot come now and just tell us for 1400 years ago, people got it all wrong. But you are doing it to the Christians. For 2,000 years now, you keep telling the Christians that they are wrong because they've been worshiping Jesus. They are wrong. Yeah. What do you do? How do you prove them wrong? You go through the Bible, the same book of their faith, to just prove them wrong. Simple. It's just logic and common sense. Yes, logic and common sense. The same book you believe in is just, I just need to stand on it and break them down because they are nonsensical, right? So if the Quran is the main source of guidance, stick to the Quran and use the Quran as the criterion. And this hypocrite is going to prove that in the last video I'm going to play about him. You'll be shocked. But let's go.
Now, you know, in this great enlightened age of Islamic illumination.
Oh, now in this great enlightenment age of this Islamic illumination, now, you mean now? Islamic illumination now? In this great, okay. When you say Islamic illumination, and here is Imam Mahdi telling you 99% of Islam is all wrong. Now, you are saying illumination with the idol worship and mushriks. Illumination. Okay, let's go.
We've realized what the Quran really meant.
About what?
You know, that argument is patently absurd because, one, the Sahaba understood the Arabic and the Prophet ﷺ.
What? Now, do you understand which Arabic? Do you understand Arabic? Which Arabic? Is it the one of the Quran? Or is it their own Arabic language? Because there are different versions of Arabic dialect and languages. Yes, there are different versions. Saudi has their own, Syria has their own, Iraq has their own, Egypt has their own, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Yemen, Bahrain, they all have their own version. So what do you mean, Hamza Yusuf? What do you mean by this?
Was there to show them, and we have the hadith, and people say, oh, they want to.
What is this guy talking about? Seriously.
Condemn the hadith and say, well, it's I don't believe in the hadith. There are mutawatir hadith that you cannot condemn. If you condemn them, it's the same. Because
says who? Who said I cannot condemn them? Where did the Prophet say mutawatir hadith you can't condemn? Or where did God even say mutawatir hadith I can't condemn them? Where? Who gives legislation in Islam? Because the last time I checked, Quran chapter 18 verse 26, God does not even share a partner in terms of his judgment. He doesn't have a partner in terms of his hukum, his decision making or judgment. Yes, God doesn't have partner. So who gives this legislation? Who gives you this command and judgment and says, I cannot reject a mutawatir hadith? Says who?
we have, you know, we have an epistemology, just like.
Now he is saying we have an epistemology. There we are talking about the theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity and scope, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion. Now, these are things they stipulate for themselves, which is not something that the Prophet is teaching based on their opinions or whatever, because these people are they are opinionated people and scholars. So they use the opinions of their dead scholars to infiltrate people in Islam, to give prominence, to give relevance to all these dead. That's why they keep saying the Imam Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, Hanafi, and they bring all these ideologies and opinions, trying to make it part of Islam. When the simple command is just to follow the Millat Ibrahim, that's it. I'm serious. That is just Islam. Islam is between you and God. Yes, yes. That's it. It's between you and God. It's not between you and the people. No, that's not Islam. Islam is between you and God.
The West has an epistemological approach to things. Muslims have an epistemological approach to things. So
how? Where did the Prophet give you that epistemology, logical thing to approach to things? Hey, these people. Why now? So if the West has So West has. Is West a religion? If the West has, is West the religion? So then Muslims also have, according to where? Where is it written? In the Quran?
We have mutawatir. That's part of our epistemology.
If you say we, you mean the mushriks. You have, yes, that I don't disagree. You, the mushriks, you have the epistemology of this. Stop putting these garbage things in Islam. Islam is not for your father.
Ahad. That's part of our epistemology. We have akhbar. We have dhanniyat. We have hadsiyat. We have wahmiyat. These are all part of the epistemological approach of Muslims.
No, it's not. Who gave you all these things? Who? In which book? Quran? Where? Your own scholars have indoctrinated people and set forth all these garbage rules, thinking that Islam belonged to your father. Look, this is what God says in Quran chapter 2, verse 170. This is just the simple command God gave in the Quran. Listen here. I'm going to show you this. This is what God says. وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمْ تَبِعُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا أَلْفَيْنَا عَلَيْهِ أَبَاءَنَا أَوَلَوْ كَانَ آبَاؤُهُمْ لَا يَأْكِلُونَ شَيْئًا وَلَا يَعْتَدُونَ. And when they are told, follow what God has sent down, they say, rather, we follow what we found our fathers upon. What if their fathers did not understand anything, nor were they guided? What if? Is it not time for you to use your intellect and reason? Because whenever the question arises and it says, what if, it is giving you an option to reason in the opposite direction. Because you have to ask questions. Okay, what if my father was ignorant? Didn't I need to investigate and see if my father is ignorant or not? What if my teacher is lying? What if my father wasn't telling the truth? What if my mother is not my mother? What if I'm following a lie? You need to ask questions. That's why God says, وَلَا تَخَفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ. Quran chapter 17 verse 36. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. Don't pursue it. Ask questions so that you can be enlightened. You don't look stupid like a sheeple, so that you know what you're doing. You will not look like a fool, even if when your kids are asking you questions, you know what to say. And then you are just part of a religion, and then these so-called imposters are just giving you legislations, adding up things. Quran chapter 42 verse 21. What did God say? Am lahum shuraka'u shara'u lahum min ad-din ma lam yazanu bi illah. Do they have idols who have legislated for them of a deen to which God has not authorized? So is this kind of bozos you are going to follow, just giving you legislations in the deen when God has not authorized such a deen, and you think they are guided? Come on.
Latter khabar is 100% epistemologically sound. It's factual. So if the Prophet ﷺ said something and it's mutawatir, and you deny it, it's denying the Quran. It's the same, because the Quran is mutawatir. And so there's these people that say, oh, I only accept the Quran, the Quraniyun. They've already rejected the Quran.
Hey! 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 I don't know how their brain works. I'm using this phone. This is Nokia. And then somebody will tell me, babashuaib, you are rejecting this phone. Hey! No, seriously, how does these people brain works? I'm using my phone already. Then somebody just came out of nowhere and said, babashuaib, you are rejecting this phone. Hey! These mushriks, I don't know how their brain works. I'm serious. So
if the Prophet ﷺ said something and it's mutawatir, and you deny it, it's denying the Quran.
The mutawatir is it in the Hadith? Is it in the Quran? It's not. So how am I rejecting something which is not in the Quran? You said I'm rejecting the Quran. Hey! Let's see his justification.
It's the same, because the Quran is mutawatir. And so there's these people that say, oh, I only accept the Quran, the Quraniyun. They've already rejected the Quran.
Hey! Then why do you call us Quraniyun? If Quraniyun have already rejected the Quran, now you listen carefully. You are calling us Quraniyun by your definition. You say we only uphold the Quran as this our source of guidance. That's how you define us. Listen. Then again, you are telling us that we have rejected the Quran. How? Then why are you calling us Quranist? Okay, then we take the Quran, we become the yuns. Yeah, somebody is the boss. Now we take the Quran out. Qurani out. So you become the yuns. Allah, these bozos, eh? Allah, I don't know how they reason. I'm serious. Okay, let's go.
وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Right? Whatever.
He's quoting Quran chapter 59, verse 7. You hear most of the mushriks quoting this verse, and they leave the context out. The context starts from verse 6 or verse 5. Chapter 59, verse 5. Coming down. So let me show you the trick he's going to play. This is called semantic. He's going to play games with the words here. Now, I'm going to show you how you don't pay attention to these scholars when they are lying to you in the broad daylight. So correctional officer is going to help you to catch his lies. Look, he's going to misquote the verse. Listen.
The Prophet ﷺ tells you to do, and what he tells you not to do, avoid it.
Is that what the verse says? No, that's not what the verse says. So let's check what the verse says. Look at the verse. It's a long verse. It's a whole verse. They never quote the full verse. Mushriks will never quote this full verse. They always leave context out of the equation. Then they build their own context from their garbage books. So what they do is, what he did is, he left the chunk of the verse and he started from here. وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. This is where he stopped. So if you take the full verse, chapter 59, verse 7, you find out that God has said a whole lot of things up there. Then he left it hanging. So he will just take one portion of the verse and then they will quote and then put in their point of view there, just to make you think that is a proof, which is wrong. The verse is talking about the spoils of war, and he's telling them how it should be distributed among the poor and the needy and the people who went for the war. So now what God has awarded to his messenger, ma afa Allahu ala rasulihi min ali qura falillahi war rasuli walizi kurba wal yatama wal masakin wabna sabil. Then he says kayla yakuna dulatan bainal agniya'i minkum. Then he says wa ma atakumur rasul fakhuzuhu wa ma nahakum anhu fantahu wattaqullaha innallaha shadidul iqab. So they leave this context. The context is whatever God awarded to his messenger from the people of the towns, it does belongs to God, number one, and to the messenger, number two, and to the relatives, number three, and the orphans, number four, and the poor people, number five, and the wayfarer, number six, so that it will not be what? It will not be rotated between the rich among you. So then God says, and whatever the messenger, he didn't even say the prophet, because a messenger is acting on a message, a command, which means what he would tell the people take is what God has told him to tell the people to take, not the prophet. He never said Nabi in the verse, because Muhammad had two duties. He's a prophet and a messenger at the same time, but foolish mushriks don't know the difference. Just like I can be a teacher and a salesman at the same time, just like I'm a salesman by profession and I'm a teacher. I teach online. Right? Mushriks don't know the difference. Then they will say, is he not the same? Is he not the foolishness? They have kaput in the head. If you ask them out of their foolishness again, if you ask them the duty of a prophet, is it the same as the duty of a messenger? They will say no. So if it is no, how come God is saying, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ, by your foolishness of not knowing the difference between messenger and prophet, you go and put Nabi again? If you ask them, Nabi and Rasul, is it the same? They say no. Then how come God is saying Rasul, and you, with your foolishness of not knowing the difference, then they will say Nabi? So check what this guy did, this bozo did. Check what he did.
Do that. Right? Whatever the Prophet ﷺ tells you to do,
is that what the verse says? Whatever the Prophet tells you to do, is that what the verse said? وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ. It means whatever the messenger gives you. From what? From the spoils of the war, the people of the towns. What has happened? The messenger, what God has awarded. So whatever the messenger gives you, take it. Did he give you Sahih Bukhari? What is wrong with these bozos? I don't know what kind of brain you have. You need factory reset. I'm serious. Whatever the messenger gives you, take it. Did he give you Sahih Bukhari? No, tell me. Did he give you Sahih Muslim? Is that what he brought? He brought those garbage books you are using? How is your brain working? I don't get it. Then they will say, that means where the Prophet gave us hadith. That is why he says we should use. How? So when the Christian says Trinity, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 1. You say, no, it's wrong. How can it be 1 + 1 + 1 3 times and it's 1? You don't understand, right? Now you are trying to do the same mental gymnastic here. Whatever the messenger gives you, that's why God is mentioning messenger. What is the duty of a messenger? وَمَا عَلَى رَسُولِ إِلَّا بَلَاغٌ مُبِينٌ. A messenger is somebody who carries a message to deliver a message. That's what makes a person a messenger. So that messenger, whatever he gives you, take it. What did he give you? You left the context. Chapter 59, verse 7. You left the context out. Then you just put hadith there, just like Mufti Meng did. I have the video. Go and check. Versus scholars. You see my video against Mufti Meng. He also did the same thing. Then he says, وَمَا تَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. It means the hadith. When the messenger gives you hadith, take it. Hey, mushriks.
Deny it, it's denying the Quran. It's the same, because the Quran is mutawatir. And so there's these people that say, I only accept the Quran, the Quraniyun. They've already rejected the Quran. وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ.
You see, he's quoting the verse. Now listen.
Right? Whatever the Prophet ﷺ tells you to do, وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ.
Hey, Hamza Yusuf. So this guy knows Arabic. This guy. Look. Whatever the Prophet tells you, is that what the verse is? Hey, Hamza Yusuf. It doesn't say whatever the Prophet tells you. That's not Biku, sorry. It doesn't say that. Hey, Hamza Yusuf. You can lie, Papa. I don't know if he was on drugs at that time speaking. You can hear his voice. Yeah, it's true. Yes, Anna, what you said, he really sounds high. It's like he drank something. Listen.
And what he tells you not to do, avoid it.
Is that what the verse is? If he tells you what to do. The context, it's about the spoils of war. What God has awarded to the messenger. That thing should not be monopolized or rotated among the rich. It has to be given to the poor, the needy, the wayfarer, the orphans. So then out of those things, whatever the messenger gives you, take it. When he refrains you from it, refrain from it. That's all. But look at the interpretation and explanation this guy is giving. Hey, to Lee.
Where does he do that? The Prophet ﷺ wasn't telling us in the Quran. He was saying the Quran was from Allah. He's just delivering it. That refers to his sunnah.
Hey, Hamza Yusuf. Okay, you guys can lie. You know lie, but topoto. Oh my God. Hey, This guy can lie.
And he said, don't, لا ألفين أحدكم متكئا على أريكته. Let me not find one of you reclining on a comfortable couch and saying,
let me not find you on the couch. Hey, let me not find. How can he's dead? How can he find me on the couch? Let me not find you on the couch. So now prophet is God. He's dead, but he does not find you on the couch. Which couch? You guys said they were in the desert. So that time they even have couch. Okay, let's go.
ماذا وجدتم في هذا الكتاب فاتبعوه. You know, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if you don't find it in this book, just leave it.
You see this part he's talking about? I'll show you how hypocritical this guy is. I'm serious. You just listen.
And he said, they won't mention my sunnah. And he said,
hey.
said, Wallahi utitu al-Qur'ana wa mithlu. I was given the Quran and it's like.
And it's like what? What is it like?
Which is the sunnah.
Which is the sunnah. Hey, these people can lie, Papa. Where did the prophet say I was given the Quran and something like it, and which means the sunnah? He never says that. Wallahi, the prophet never said this. These people keep lying every time. They have been giving Quran and something similar. Hey, so 2 books. Something similar with the Quran is 2 books. So your hadith, your sunnah hadith has to be recited like the Quran because it's similar. So they have to recite it just like the Quran, right? Hey, these people, 2 books.
So to deny the sunnah is to deny half of Islam.
Hey, now it's half of Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, previous video I played, he says if you reject the Mutawatir hadith, you have rejected all of Islam. Is that not what he said? But here, if he say when you reject the Sunnah, you are rejecting half of Islam. Did you hear that? You didn't hear it. Okay, let me play that part.
You know, whatever you find in this book, follow it. And if you don't find it in this book, just leave it. And he said, they won't mention my sunnah. And he said, Wallahi utitu al-Qur'ana wa mithlu. I was given the Quran and it's like, which is the sunnah. So to deny the sunnah is to deny half of Islam.
Did you hear that? So if you deny half the sunnah, you have denied half of Islam. Okay, no problem. We like the half. Ladies and gentlemen, and my use, because they say we have rejected the Quran. So now my fellow use, because they call us Quraniyun, and they say we have rejected the Quran. So we take the Quran out. So my fellow Yuns, he said, if you reject the Sunnah, you have rejected half of Islam. No problem. We like the half. The half is the Quran. It's okay. We will take the half. And this negotiation, it sounds reasonable. So I'm rejecting your Sunnah. I'm taking the Quran. It's okay.
Because it's La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. You know, it's God and it's the messenger of God. The Quran is the word of God. It's not the word of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but the Hadith is the word of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Allah. But it's the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling us, and we have to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So to deny the Hadith is kufr. If you deny the whole body of Hadith, you're kafir.
But this guy just said, if I reject the Sunnah, is half. I'm rejecting half of Islam. Now again, he's saying, if I reject the whole body of Hadith, I'm a kufr. Allah, these guys, they are not listening to themselves. Wallahi, these guys need help in the brain. I'm serious. They need a factory reset. This guy just said, if you reject the Sunnah, you have rejected half of Islam. So half of Islam is Quran and Sunnah. So we take the Quran, we left the half for you. Yes, we reject the half. Now again, he says, if you reject the whole body of Hadith, because the Hadith is the Sunnah. Where do you get the Sunnah from? Where? You tell me where. Is it not there in the Hadith? So the Hadith is the Sunnah. So now if I reject the whole body of hadith, it's kufr. I'm a kafir. Hey! And people were seriously sitting and listening to him. This is Hamza Yusuf. I'm serious. Because we were agreeing to the negotiation where you said, if we reject the Sunnah, we have rejected half of Islam. So we have rejected the Sunnah, we need the Quran. It's enough. That half is enough for us. Now, again, you went after just 30 seconds. You are saying, if I reject the whole body of hadith again, I'm a kafir. Hey!
You're not Muslim. You're outside of Islam.
So now we are not Muslims. Hey, this deal. This deal. I don't know how this deal can work. Hey!
Bukhari is not kufr. You know, if somebody says, you know, I can't believe in that hadith, that's not kufr. It's not something I would risk. You should at least say, I don't think he said it, but if he said it, I believe it. It's a more intelligent approach. Agnostic.
He's talking like he's drunk.
About the hadith, not about Allah, right? So, and an ideal Islamic state is an ideal Islamic state of mind. And that's where you won't need to impose the niqab if you have an ideal, the hijab, if you have an ideal state of mind in the Muslim woman. You won't need to impose it.
Hamza Yusuf. So this is Hamza Yusuf. This is the Hamza Yusuf. People are talking about Hamza Yusuf. This Hamza. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you the real Hamza Yusuf, and you'll be shocked that this same Hamza Yusuf was the one speaking in these two videos. So I'm going to show you the real Hamza Yusuf. Now listen. Watch the real Hamza Yusuf. I'm going to put it on the screen. Listen. This is the real Hamza Yusuf. Please listen carefully.
Serious book. It is the criterion. It is what separates truth from falsehood. There's nothing frivolous in this book. There's no hazal. There's hazil is nothing. It's something without substance. It's saying this book is a substantive book. There's nothing frivolous in this book. Nothing. There's no comedy in this book. There's no jokes in this book. This book is serious. من تركه من جبار قصمه الله. Whoever leaves this out of arrogance, Allah will break his back. ومن ابتغى الهدى في غيره أضله الله. And if you seek guidance in other than this book, you will go astray. If you seek guidance in other than this book, you will go astray. And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, هو حبر الله المتين فاعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا. Cling to this rope of Allah together, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what unites the Muslims. Cling to the book of Allah. And then he said, هو حبر الله المتين ونوره المبين. It is a light. It guides you in the darkness of this world. وهو ذكر الحكيم. And it's the wise reminder of what you already know. ألست بربكم. Am I not your Lord? Allah said. Allah shahidna. We testify you are indeed our Lord. وهو الصراط المستقيم. It is the straight path. هو الذي لا تتشعب معه الآراء. You won't see opinions differing if you follow this book. لا تلتبس به الألسنة. The tongues will not be confused or ambiguous when it speaks from this book. ولا تنقضي عجائبه. The wonders of this book will never end. They won't end. You will always discover new things in the Quran. They won't end. وهو الذي لم تنتهي الجن إذ سمعته أن قالوا إن سمعنا قرآنا عجبا يهدي إلى الرشد. This is the book that when the jinn heard it, they said, we've heard a wondrous book that calls to guidance. من قال به صدق. If you speak from the Quran, you speak truthfully. وَمَنْ حَكَمَ بِهِ عَدَلٍ. And if you judge by it, you judge justly. وَمَنْ دُعِي إِلَيْهِ وَمَنْ عَمِلَ بِهِ أُجَرٍ. And if you act according to it, you will be rewarded. وَمَنْ دُعِي إِلَيْهِ هُدِيَ إِلَى الصِّرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. And if you call to it, you will be guided through your calling to this book to a straight path. This is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هُوَ النَّجَاةُ لِمَنْ تَمَسَّكَ بِهِ. It will save you if you cling to it. وَعِصْمَةٌ. And it will protect you as long as you adhere to this book.
Ladies and gentlemen, this 2.5 minutes video you just heard, this is Hamza Yusuf speaking on the Quran. And the reason why I'm playing this video to show you how they contradict themselves, right? Concerning when they are speaking about the Quran, when it comes to yes, and somebody was just writing, he says he doesn't sound tired here, because here, look, he's speaking about the Quran, and now he has to speak the truth, nothing but the truth. Did you see how he sounds? Here, he sounds like a human being. He's speaking with all the energy. Did you see? So here he wasn't stoned. Here, this is Hamza Yusuf. Now, you saw the energy he was speaking with. He's talking about the Quran, telling us how unique the Quran is. So now I'm going to take step by step. You'll be amazed. Listen.
This is a serious book. It is the criterion.
So he's talking about the Quran. He says this is a serious book. It is the criterion, right? You know the criterion, something to decipher between wrong and right, or truth and falsehood, right? Okay, now listen.
It is what separates truth from falsehood.
So the Quran is what separates the truth from falsehood. That is why Quran chapter 10 verse 32 says, فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا دَلَالٌ. What is there after the truth if not error? Thank you for the gift, Brother Mansour. So what is there after the truth if not error, right? So Quran is a serious book and is the criterion. So now he's talking about the Quran. You saw the energy he's speaking with. Okay.
There's nothing frivolous in this book.
There is nothing frivolous in this book. There's nothing like a joke, comedy stuff. No, it's a serious book. Okay.
There's no hazal. Hazil is nothing. It's something without substance. It's saying this book is a substantive book.
So it is not a book which is without substance. Yeah. So it is a substantive book, right? Okay.
There's nothing frivolous in this book. Nothing. There's no comedy in this book.
There's no comedy in this book. That is the Quran. Okay.
No jokes in this book. This book is serious.
There's no jokes in the Quran.
Serious.
The Quran is serious.
Whoever leaves this out of arrogance, Allah will break his back.
Whoever leaves the Quran out of arrogance, God will break his back.
And if you seek guidance in other than this book, you will go astray.
And if you seek guidance other than in this book, and if you seek guidance other than this book, ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully.
If you seek guidance in other than this book, you will go astray.
And if you seek guidance other than, listen, other than in this book, you will go astray. James Holy says, except Hadith, lol. Always. Except Hadith. So he forgot to add the except Hadith. Now, this is what I call subconsciously. Correctional officer, I have a short video. In that video, I was wearing a blue shirt, right? I remember in that video, it's a short, it's a reel. And I put Yusuf's test in the video. And I was speaking about subconscious. The title of the video is subconscious. Look for it in my shorts. When you are listening to these scholars, subconsciously, they do tell the truth. And when they are telling you the truth, it is the best speech ever. Whenever they are speaking the truth, is the best speech they can give. I'm serious. Look, the Numan Ali Khans, the Mufti Mengs, the Zakir Naiks, the Yusuf Estates. You mentioned them, Bilal Phillips. Whenever they are ready to speak about the Quran, the truth, it is the best speech they can give you. I'm serious. But when they are speaking consciously, it's like they are drunk. It's like they are stoned. It's like they are on drugs when they are speaking consciously. Subconsciously, they will give you the best speech ever. Yes. And this is exactly what Hamza was doing here. So now let's go.
If you seek guidance in other than this book, you will go astray.
If you seek guidance other than in this book, which is the Quran, you will go astray. He is saying it. I'm not saying it.
And then he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, huwa habrullah al-mateen.
He's telling us what the Prophet said, right? Okay.
فَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Cling to this rope of Allah together, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So just like it says in Quran chapter 3, verse 102, 103 coming down, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. This hablillah is the book of God. That's the rope of God. One book. One book. One. Look. One. Let me take this out. One. I'm not going to do like the Christians. 1 + 1 + 1 is equal to 1. No. One book. Just like the Hadithiyuun'S, they are saying the Quran is something similar. No. We don't agree with that. One book. Okay. One book. The Quran. Okay.
This is what unites the Muslims. Cling to the book of Allah.
That is what unites the Muslims. Clinging to the book of God. One book.
And then he said, it is a light.
The book is a light. The Quran is a light.
It guides you in the darkness of this world.
It guides you in the darkness of this world. The darkness. It guides you darkness of this world. Okay.
وَهُوَ ذِكْرُ الْحَكِيمِ. And it's the wise reminder of what you already know. أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ.
It is the wise reminder from your Lord. It's a wise. That is why he says, Yasin chapter 36, Wal Quran al Hakim, the wise Quran. And it's a wise zikr, the wise reminder.
Am I not your Lord? Allah said, Allah shahidna, we testify you are indeed our Lord.
So God is asking, am I not your Lord? Yes, shahidna, we bear witness you are our Lord. This is Quran chapter 7 verse 172, right? Where we bore witness before coming to the world, right? Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Talib, for the gift on YouTube. Thank you, I appreciate that.
وَهُوَ الصِّرَاطُ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. It is the straight path.
وَهُوَ الصِّرَاطُ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. This book, the Quran, it is the straight path. Listen, not paths. Straight path. One. Okay.
The Muslims, it is a light. Am I not your Lord? Allah said, Allah shahidna, we testify you are indeed our Lord. وَهُوَ الصِّرَاطُ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. It is the straight path. هُوَ الَّذِي لَا تَتَشَعَّبُ مَعَهُ الْأَرَاءِ. You won't see opinions differing if you follow this book.
Do you hear what he said? You don't see different opinions or seek for different opinions if you follow this book, because it's the straight path. Quran chapter 6 verse 153. God says, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا سُبُلًا فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. God says, this is my straight path. Follow it and do not follow ways. Then you'll be separated from his way. One way. Okay.
لَا تَلْتَبِسُ بِهِ الْأَلْسِنَةِ. The tongues will not be confused or ambiguous when it speaks from this book.
The tongues will not be confused or ambiguous when it speaks from this book. Just like when this guy is speaking from the book. He's just speaking about the truth. Nothing but the truth. Are you amazed? Okay.
وَلَا تَنْقَضِي عَجَائِبُهُ. The wonders of this book will never end.
The wonders of this book, the Quran, will never end.
They won't end.
It doesn't end.
You will always discover new things in the Quran.
You will always discover new things in the Quran. That is the amazement of just 114 chapters of the book. But you are always discovering new things.
They won't end. وهو الذي لم تنتهي الجن إذ سمعت وأن قالوا إن سمعنا قرآنا عجبا يهدي إلى الرشد. This is the book that when the jinn heard it, they said, we've heard a wondrous book.
This is the book when even the jinns, when they heard it, they say, we have heard an amazing book. The Quran. Hey, and yet you call us Quraniyun. Okay, no problem.
That calls to guidance. من قال به صدق. If you speak from the Quran, you speak truthfully.
So the Quran calls to guidance. And if you speak from the Quran, you speak truthfully. And yet you hate babashuaib. That he is speaking from the Quran. He's a Quranist. He is calling people to hell. Ahi, I'm speaking from the Quran. You say I'm misguiding people. Hey, hey, these mushriks. I don't know how the reverse psychology works. Hey, hey, hey.
ومن حكم به عدل. And if you judge by it, you judge justly.
And if you judge by it, you judge justly. If you judge by the Quran, you judge justly. There is no kombia there.
من دعي إليه ومن عمل به أجر. And if you act according to it, you will be rewarded.
And if you act according to it, you will be rewarded.
ومن دعي إليه هدي إلى الصراط المستقيم. And if you call to it, you will be guided through your calling to this book to a straight.
And if you call to it, you will be guided. You yourself will be guided to it. Because you are calling people to it. And there is the book of truth. It's book of guidance. So you the one using it and calling people to it, you yourself will be guided. Hey!
Path.
The right path.
This is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
This is the book of God. Hey, not the book of Imam Bukhari. not the book of any comedian. This is the book of God. Wow, I love this book.
وَالنَّجَاةُ لِمَنْ تَمَسَّكَ بِهِ. It will save you if you cling to it.
It will save you if you cling to it. Wow.
وَعِصْمَةٌ. And it will protect you.
And it will protect you. Wow, I love this book. Where can I get it to buy?
As long as you adhere to this book.
As long as you adhere to this book. Wow. Wallahi, this is the best book. I love this book. Where can I get it? Hey, Hamza Yusuf. Hey. Hey, Hamza Yusuf. Mark Hansen. Hey, you can tell the truth like this. You make us waste time, long time like that. We just listen to your stone version. Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't. So now you'll be wondering, this when they speak subconsciously with sense, after 5 minutes they will spoil the same statement. After they said all the sense, after 5 minutes they ruin everything. Then they tell you when you follow the Quran alone, you are a kafir. Hey, no, I can't think far with these scholars. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hamza Yusuf I presented to you. The so-called Mark Hansen, Hamza Yusuf. I chose the title, The Hadithiyuun'S White Man, because among all the whites who converted to Islam, he is the top notch among all of them, right? So that is why I use the title. It is not to sound racist or something, but it is just to put a point across, right? And look, I'm going to show you, especially you, the Africans, I'm going to show you something in the Hadith books you never thought of. Hadith books, I call them garbage, and it's trash, and it's insulting even black people. It's telling you, black people, you are going to hell. I'm serious. I'm going to show you the Hadith. It says black people are going to hell. And this is the kind of book foolish people out there who don't want to reason with the book of God, They think when you are speaking the truth, you are rather the enemy of Islam. Right? Foolish people, I say, because no wise person will be against me, babashuaib. I'm serious. Foolish people are the only people who hate what I say. Yeah. So I'm going to show you this hadith where it actually tells you that black people are going to hell, right? And that white people are going to paradise. Hey, Hadithiyuun'S. Okay. So the hadith is, I'm going to put it on the screen, right? It's called, the hadith is Mishkat. It's Mishkat al-Masabih. Mishkat al-Masabih. Okay, so let me put it on the screen, right? Okay. If you go to sunnah.com, I'm going to help you out. Where is it? Let me put it here. If you go to sunnah.com and you look for this hadith, it's called Mishkat al-Masabi 119. I'm going to put it on the screen. Just a second. Here. This is the hadith on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. Let me maximize the page. Then you can see it clearly. This is it. Just a second. And I make it bigger. That is the hadith on the screen. Go to sunnah.com. Write it down. Kindly write it down. You go to sunnah.com and this is the hadith here. It's called Mishkat al-Masabih. Right? 119. 119. Right? 119. Write it down. And I have it on the screen for people watching from Facebook and YouTube. Write it down. Now, this is classified as Hassan and Sahih. Look, it's written in Arabic here. I'm going to show you. This is classified here as Sahih. You can see it on the page. I just highlighted it. It's Sahih. It is Sahih hadith. And it is, the isnad is Hassan, meaning the isnad, the chain of narration is good. It's a good hadith, which means it's not da'if. So Mishkat Mishkat al-Masabih. So the hadith is what I'm going to tell you here. But look, for people who don't understand here, I'm going to show you something. Before I read it in English, here it says Khalaqallahu Adama hina khalaqahu fadaraba katifahul yumna فأخرج ذرية بيضاء. Then it says كأنهم زر وضرب كتفه اليسرى فأخرج ذرية سوداء كأنهم الهمم فقال للذي في يمينه إلى الجنة. Then he says, Wala ubali. Then he says, Waqala lillazi fi kafhi yusra ila al-nar. Wala ubali. Then he says, Rawawul Ahmad. Now, the hadith is initially, here it says, Wa an abi darda. Anin nabi, then they will go ahead and say, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? So this is what he says. He says, Abu Darda reported that God's messenger said, God created Adam. When he created him and struck his right shoulder, he brought forth his offspring, which are white people. White, like small ants, like a lot of them. And he struck his left shoulder and brought forth his offspring, black, which are black people, as though they were charcoal, like charcoal, right? Then he said to the party on his right side, to paradise. Go to paradise. And I do not care. He just took them to paradise. The white ones, he told them, go to paradise. I do not care. And he said to the party on his left side, that is the black people, to go to hell. And he doesn't care. And it says Ahmad transmitted it. Narrated it. Then when we say rawahu, is to transmit or narrate, right? Okay. So this is Mishkat Mishkat al-Masabih. You'll find it in the book of Kitab al-Iman. This hadith is saying that the children of Adam, the white people are going to paradise, and then the black people are going to hell. And this hadith is Sahih. It's Sahih. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's pack our bags. That is why I say let's reject the Sunnah and hold on to the Quran. We like the half. Quran doesn't put black people to hell. So let me hold the Quran. You take your Sunnah where you put black people to hell. Carry your hadith books, your garbage books. That is, let me hold on to the Quran where it doesn't put black people to hell. Please. Biku, please. So this hadith is Sahih. I'm not joking. It's there. I gave you the reference. Look it up. Right? So he says the white people are going to paradise and God doesn't care about that. And then the black people are going to hell and God doesn't care. Right? Okay. And it is Sahih. It is the Isnad is Hassan. This is the hadith books. Mishkat al-Masabi 119. Write it down and check for yourself. Then again, I'm going to give you another hadith. I'm going to put, and this hadith, this Mishkat al-Masabi, let me tell you about this particular hadith. Mishkat al-Masabi is a selection of hadith compiled by Imam Khatib at Tabrizi. Imam at Tabrizi expanded on an earlier selection of hadith named Masabih as Sunnah by Imam al-Bagawi. Right? Mishkat al-Masabi contains approximately 6,000 hadiths chosen from the 6 books, Musnad, Ahmad, and various others. Right? It is a comprehensive selection of hadiths that covers almost all aspects of Islamic belief, jurisprudence, and virtues. The translation provided here is by James Robson. So what we just read from the page, if you go to the sunnah.com, you see all the relevant information concerning this, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to quote another hadith. According to the hadith, whatever is black is bad. Anything black is bad. According to the hadith books. If anything is black, it's a bad thing. So even they say the devil is black. Hey. Oh. Hey. Hadith book, you have never seen anything yet. This garbage book, wallahi, black people, babashuaib will make you wake up. I'm serious. You have to wake up. This garbage book. Let's go. I'm going to quote another hadith. The other hadith is Sunanan. This is Sunan Ibn Majah, right? Let me put it on the screen. 952. Sunan Ibn Majah 952. Sorry, here. Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong one. Let me put 952. Ibn Majah. Sorry, let me search it this way. Sunan Ibn Majah. I go home. Ibn Majah 952. Here. Okay, it's almost there. This is the hadith. In this hadith, I'm putting it on the screen. You can see it clearly. It says, the prayer is severed by a woman, a donkey, and a black dog. If there is not something like the handle of a saddle in front of a man. I, Abdullah, said, what is wrong with a black dog and a red one? Meaning, what is wrong with a black dog and a red dog? What is wrong? Because they said, if you are praying, a prayer is severed by a woman. If a woman passes in front of you, if you are praying and a woman passes in front of you, your prayer is invalid. That is why the mushriks, when you see them praying, they will put a chair or they will put something like a shoe in front of them. I don't know if they are worshiping the shoe or they are worshiping the chair. You understand? Haven't you seen the mushriks praying before? When they are praying, they will put like a chair in front of them. then they will say they don't want anybody to pass in front of them. That's why they put the shoe or the chair. I don't know if it's a spiritual fence. So the prayer is severed by a woman, a donkey. If you put also a donkey in front of you, your prayer is gone. And a black dog. If a black dog also passes in front of you, the prayer is gone. If there is not something like a handle of a saddle in front of a man, like, so if a man is praying and there is no such thing like the handle of a saddle in front of him, then Abdullah said, what is wrong with a black dog? When you are praying, and yes, they always clap when someone wants to pray. Yes, the mushriks, when they are praying, somebody wants to pray, they will do it to alert, to give you signal. Don't pass. It's like you are passing between him and God. I mean, maybe you are passing to hit God, so don't pass. Let him put a barrier that you can pass. So he says, the black dog. So somebody's asking, somebody with common sense in the hadith. He said, what is wrong with the black dog? Then Abu Dar, do you know Abu Dar? This same Abu Dar is the same person who narrated that the Prophet went to the heavens to bring 50 salat. Do you remember? Abu Dar. This guy, Abu Dar. He's the same guy who narrated that the Prophet, write it down, Sahih al-Bukhari 349. Abu Dar, he is the guy who said the Prophet went to the sky to go and bring 50 negotiated prayers, and it became 5 that you, the mushriks, are doing today. So this Abu Dar, he said, I asked the messenger of Allah the same question, and he said, the black dog is shaitan. Hey, let me show you in Arabic here. Look here. You see here. He says, Fakala, al-kalbul aswadu shaitan. Hey, Bujurgenga, Allah. So they said the black dog is a Satan, is shaitan. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a black dog in your house, you are with the devil. So hurry up, cast it out. The hadith says if you have a black dog, you have a devil in your house, please, so put the dog out. It's a devil who cast it out. If you have a black dog, you'll be feeding the devil. I'm not saying it too. The hadith says Sahih, it's Sahih. And the hadith is Sahih. It is in Sunan Ibn Majah. This is it. It's Sahih, right? It's classified as Sahih. The hadith, Sunan. This is the same hadith. They say if you reject any of them, you are a kafir. So if you don't want to be a kafir, you have to accept the hadith. This is the hadith. They say the black dog is a devil. So anywhere you are going, when you see a black dog, that's hey, Allah mushrikay. No. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the hadith they hate us for. They hate us because of these garbage books. They say black people are going to hell. And if you see a black dog, that's the devil. This is the same book these Hamza Yusufs are hating us. They say we are kafir. There's kufr. If you reject all this garbage, you are not a Muslim. So ladies and gentlemen, babashuaib, I've done my part. I've done my best. The hadith book is the most racist book ever on earth. I'm serious. You guys don't know because you don't study the books. You don't investigate them. The same hadith book is telling you that if somebody next to you changes his religion, kill him. And you think it's a joke. You have these bozos around your countries, all over Europe, and you are allowing them to enter in your countries. You're giving them the same privilege, and you think it's a joke, right? You joke with people who follow the hadith. They will mess up your life. They are bozos in the head. I'm serious. So this is the kind of book they follow. Yeah. So we have to wake up and do something about this. I'm serious. And you have to show these people this stupidity they have in their books. Show it to your family members. Let them wake up. You need to ask the scholars the right questions, right? Ask them the right questions. Yeah. If this madness is what they can classify as kafirs, no problem. We prefer to stay kafirs like that. If this kind of books, because of this kind of books, they call us kafir, no problem. We are okay. We will stick with the use. So let them take the Quran. We stick with the use. Hey, this use. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is babashuaib. I've done almost 2 hours 30 minutes. I need to go now. For those who didn't watch the program from beginning, try to watch it. The replay will be on YouTube. But however, I might be trimming the greetings part, because it took a long time, right? So I might be trimming the part off to shorten the lecture, so that you can get and re-watch the lecture in full. Please take the evidences I quoted, the references I give. They are very important. Write them down. Take them. Ask questions, right? Don't let these people waffle, try to brainwash you with their whims and desires. Ask for proof. I'm serious. Ask them for proofs. And you will find out how stupid most of these scholars around you are. They are not sound. I'm not joking with you. That's why they are scared of babashuaib. And that's why, look, forget about when I try to put a bit of banter inside. Because I don't want you to take it in anger. I want you to be able to look at it as a joke, like that these people are comedians. Look at it that way, so that you not be. Look, when I started my lectures, I'm always infuriated. I talk with anger. I don't joke. I don't smile. I was full force angry when I was talking about Islam in the beginning, because I've seen how far these people have taken you. But now it seems like people are waking up. People are resonating. They are reasoning. They are trying to see the light in what I say. So this is why, to the extent you see me putting some jokes in between, because, if you're so serious, people will not take you serious. That's why I try to make it seem like that, so that you rather laugh at those people. Don't get angry. Just laugh at them. It's stupidity. They are foolish. They don't see it. If you get angry, you are giving them the chance to fight you. Don't be angry. Just laugh at them. I'm serious. Just laugh. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is babashuaib. I don't want to spoil it if I stay too long. So I have to move to TikTok. I might be there for 1 hour. So this is babashuaib, the correctional officer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Abdullah Abbas, Sister Eve, Sister Khadija Mom. Thank you very much. I appreciate your presence. We have Nazir NSC. Thank you. Baba Seidu, thank you very much. Kitos Palium. Brother Balogun. Yes, Balogun, I see you. Wakami Chan, we have all of you. Hannah Banana, Abdul Samad, all of you. I know some of you will be joining me on TikTok. I have just like 1 hour, because I'll be going, my prayer time will be up soon. So I have to go. I cannot stay very long, right? Plus I have to work the next day. So I just need, after that, I will need like 5 hours of sleep to wake up to go to work. So like I said, next week, God willing, I might be having a discussion with the Ahmadi group concerning Imam Mahdi. And I'm also looking forward to do a program with Dr. Omar Zaid, inshallah. I do have a lot of programs in the lineup with other people that I'm just trying to find a better time to schedule it up. So this is babashuaib, the correctional officer. If you miss most of the program, kindly rewatch this program again and enjoy, right? Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, all of you. I appreciate your presence. God bless you all. Salis Jimmy, thank you very much. I see you. Mahmoud Swala, thank you all. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Till we meet again. If you want to have fun, join me on TikTok. God bless you all and stay blessed, inshallah. Peace out. One love.